Hello, everyone. Are you ready to learn some vocabulary? All right, you're ready. Good. So, let's see what we have here. Pretty good. Let's see. All right. So, welcome. This is Advanced Vocabulary. So, we are going to be doing advanced vocabulary words. These words will be C1 to C2 level of English. Okay. So, if you are a beginner or you are an intermediate level, these words might be a little bit hard for you. That doesn't mean you can't learn them. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Okay, it's good to try to do difficult things sometimes, right? So, I have decided to continue to use ChatGPT rather than websites today. So, usually I use some different websites, but now I'm just going to use ChatGPT for my materials mostly. So, let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to show you what I asked ChatGPT to do for me so that you can see how to write a good prompt. Do you guys know what a prompt is? There's a good vocabulary word. Do you know what a prompt is? What is a prompt? What is a prompt? Anyone? Hello? Prompt. That is one definition of the word. Yes, Stephanie. Sometimes if I say be prompt, that is a one variation of the word, right? That's the adjective form of the word. But a prompt is a noun form of the word, right? So in this case, I'm asking about, do you know what a prompt is? Prompt, prompt. It's an important word because it's a very important word for AI, okay? No, it's okay, Stephanie. That's why we're here, right? So when you use AI, like ChatGPT or DeepSeek, when you ask it a question, your question is called a prompt, okay? To prompt means to pose a question to get the right information. So we don't call it a question because a question is not accurate enough, okay? If you just say, why is the sky blue? That's a question. But if you say, why is the sky blue? Please explain this to me and all of the scientific information I need to understand this, complete with data and links. That is a prompt. Okay, that is a prompt. So the difference between a question and a question is just, hey, what are you doing? Right? But if I say, can you tell me about the American Revolution and give me all of the relevant dates, all of the most important people, and all of the most important acts that happened, complete with links, right? That is a prompt. So the difference is, if you're using AI, you must have a good prompt. You have to ask it the right question if you want to get a good answer, okay? So let's take a look at mine first, right? So here's what I did. I asked it to do this. This is what I told it to do. Give me 10 useful advanced English vocabulary words, which are IELTS, TOEFL, GRE level, that's C1 or C2 level, and include both the etymology and simplified synonyms for each word. Oh, that didn't copy all of them, but it should be for each word at the end there. Okay, so that's my prompt. Give me 10 useful advanced English vocabulary words, which are IELTS, TOEFL, GRE level, C1, C2, and include both the etymology and simplified synonyms for each word. Okay? That is a good prompt. That will give you a good answer. Okay? So let's take a look at the answer it gave me. All right, so there it is. Give me 10 useful advanced English vocabulary words, which are IELTS, TOEFL, GRE level, C1, C2, and include both the etymology and simplified synonyms for each word. Okay, and so here they are. All right, so these words will help ESL learners expand their vocabulary, especially for academic and formal writing, while understanding their etymological roots for better retention. So the first word is ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. What does ubiquitous mean? Yeah, it's kind of like those two words put together. Widespread and common. If something is both common and widespread, then it is ubiquitous. Okay? And where does this word come from? The etymology is, it comes from the Latin word ubiquitous. But actually, it's just, all you need to know about this word is the UBI in it. Let me find it. Wait a moment. Ubiquitous. Ubiquity comes from the Latin word ubique, which means everywhere, right? So ubi, UBI, it means where, okay? And the second element of QUE means all over, right? So everywhere is what it means, okay? And yeah, it means everywhere. So like McDonald's is ubiquitous. Okay? And you're right. There's, I understand why you think they look like unique, but uni means one. Uni means one. Ubique means everywhere. Okay? So they have different roots. All right? Can I use available as a synonym? No, available is too simple. But look, these are the synonyms for it right here, Stephanie. Simplified synonyms for ubiquitous are omnipresent, widespread, or pervasive. These three words are good simplified synonyms that mean the same thing as ubiquitous. Okay, omnipresent. Omni means everywhere, present means here. So everywhere it's here. That's omnipresent. It's present everywhere. Okay? Widespread, again, and pervasive is another one. Okay? Smartphones have become ubiquitous in modern society. Smartphones have become omnipresent in modern society. Smartphones have become widespread in modern society. Okay? Lots of them here, okay? And yeah, it is a good word. It's a very good word, especially for any kind of a term paper or something. If you're writing something, ubiquitous, right? The ubiquity of something. You can also say, describe the ubiquity of McDonald's, right? Meaning how common and widespread it is, right? Yes, AI is ubiquitous now. Yeah, so now you guys can use the word ubiquitous in a sentence. Try to use it in a sentence, and I will correct it for you. Okay, so let's go. Write some sentences. Use ubiquitous in a sentence, and I will correct it for you. Come on. Let's go. The internet is becoming ubiquitous. Yeah, I think you could probably say the internet is already ubiquitous. I mean, you know, it might not be fast, but you can find the internet pretty much everywhere now. You know, it's hard to find a place that doesn't have the internet now. I can't make it bigger, Majid. I don't think I can make it any bigger than that. I think it gets weird when I start doing it bigger than this. Yeah, see, I can't. When I make it bigger than that, it doesn't work. Okay? That's as big as I can make it. Whoops. Here we go. Social media has become ubiquitous. That's a good one, Stephanie. Yeah, that's good. All right. So ubiquitous, ubiquity. Okay. All right. And then let's move on to the next one. Here's a good word. Ephemeral. Ephemeral. There's a good one. That's good. Alice, cola is the world's most ubiquitous drink. Yeah, cola or maybe tea or maybe coffee, right? Those are all pretty ubiquitous, right? Right? Let's talk about ephemeral now. Ephemeral is a fun word too. It comes from the Greek epi, meaning upon, and hemera, meaning day. It means it lasts only one day. So ephemeral things are things that don't last very long at all. They're here and then they're gone, right? So it's an ephemeral experience is an experience that just is a short time, okay? So it means lasting for a short time. Some synonyms for this would be short-lived. Fleeting, that's a good one. A fleeting feeling is a feeling that comes and then goes quickly. Okay, it comes and then leaves. It's a fleeting thing, okay? Temporary, I don't think is a great synonym for it. Ephemeral things are temporary, but that's not a great description for it. Fame is often ephemeral, disappearing as quickly as it arrives. Okay? Fame is often ephemeral, disappearing as quickly as it arrives. Chinese is the ubiquity of the world. I don't think so. I'm sorry, but that doesn't quite work. 很多人他们喜欢中国跟中文，可是很多人不可以说。不会说，所以我觉得他们知道一些中国的文化，可是非常小的一些。Okay? Chinese history is 6,000 years old, and most people don't know anything about it. Really, they don't, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but it's true. and I don't say that disparagingly. I mean, I wish more people did know, but they don't, unfortunately, you know? Life is ephemeral. You could say that. You know, it's a bit philosophical. It's a bit philosophical to say that, but yeah. Can we say her anger is ephemeral? Don't take it with a grain of salt. No, yes, you can, Mona, but what you want to say is her anger is ephemeral, so you should take it with a grain of salt. Okay? When you tell somebody to take it with a grain of salt, that means, yeah, don't get too upset about it. You know, don't take their words too seriously, right? So you want to tell them, you want to take it, you should take it with a grain of salt. Don't tell them don't take it with a grain of salt. If you say don't take it with a grain of salt, that means that's what they say is serious. Okay, so, yeah, I think if you're saying her anger comes and goes, don't get too mad about it, then you should say you should take it with a grain of salt. Okay? Beauty is ephemeral. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a simple statement that is true, right? It comes and it goes, right? Popularity is ephemeral. Fame is ephemeral. Beauty is ephemeral. Okay? Your travel for Europe is ephemeral. No. You could say my experience in Europe was ephemeral, maybe, Gustavo. But ephemeral is usually used to talk about things in kind of a poetic or a philosophical way, right? So we talk about time is ephemeral, and, you know, beauty is ephemeral, and fame is ephemeral, right? So these are intangible things, right? So maybe, Gustavo, you could say, let me think. The happiness I felt during my travels to Europe was ephemeral. Happiness can be ephemeral. Okay? The happiness I felt during my travel in Europe was ephemeral. Okay? Any issues are ephemeral, so you can take over them. Eric, again, ephemeral is usually a word we talk about intangible things, philosophical, poetic things, not necessarily, we won't say my homework was ephemeral. Okay, so use the word ephemeral when we're talking about things that are intangible or poetic or philosophical. One's career can be ephemeral. That's a good one. A career, right? That's kind of a philosophical thing. You know, what is your career? You know, yeah, you could say the name of the job, but a career describes the entirety of your life's pursuit. That's an intangible. Okay? Wealth is ephemeral. That's a good one too. So if I say, the money in my wallet is ephemeral, that doesn't work. But wealth is ephemeral. Wealth is an intangible. Okay? Anger is ephemeral. Relationships are ephemeral. Yeah. So think about big, broad topics. That's what we talk about when we're using the word ephemeral. Okay? Got it, guys? Good. Well done. All right, let's move on to the next one. Sycophant. This is a very good one because today it seems there are many sycophants in the world. So sycophant comes from the Greek word sycophantes, which means an informer or a slanderer. It's somebody who talked about you or told someone something about you, you know. They told your enemy some stuff about you, or they told everybody lies about you. That is a sycophantes, right? So it's people who falsely accused others of stealing figs. Psychon. The word psychon in Greek means fig. Do you guys know what a fig is? What's a fig? F-I-G, fig. What is a fig? Yeah, it's a fruit, and in Greek culture, it's a very popular fruit, right? And in Greek history, right? They've been eating figs for thousands of years around that area, right? So figs are very important, and so in Greek history, Sycophantes was talking about somebody who said, "Hey, he stole the figs. He stole the figs," but that's not true. Right? So when you accuse somebody of stealing figs, but they didn't really do it, that's sycophantes. Okay? So, but now, what is a sycophant now? What does this word mean now? A sycophant is a person who flatters someone to gain personal advantage. Think about how many sycophants we see in the news these days. Right? So if you're flattering people and saying, "Oh, you're so great and you're so awesome, and I think you're so great and so awesome. Please like me. I hope you like me. I'm telling you how great and awesome you are," right? Sycophant. Okay? Is it like being an apple polisher? Well, Mona, being an apple polisher is not a very common way to describe a flatterer, or a kiss ass would be a bootlicker. A kiss ass would be the slang terms for them. But it's worse than an apple polisher. Apple polisher is too nice. Okay. You should make only sincere compliments, or you may be seen as a sycophant. That's correct. Although, Alice, check your spelling on the word sincere. It should be S-I-N, not S-E-N. Okay? But otherwise, that's a very good sentence. There are many sycophants in my place of work. Okay, good, right? So let's take a look here. Other synonyms are flatterer, bootlicker, or yes man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Anything you want, sir. You're so great, sir. Gee, I wonder, can we name any people who you think have that experience? Are there any people in the news that you think live this life? They're surrounded by sycophants. Anybody that you can think of? Yeah, don't say it, but yeah, the point is that, yeah, we live in a world filled with sycophants, pathetic people who, yes, sir, anything you want. You're so brilliant, Mr. Musk. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? Yeah, there you go. I let one slide. So I would say that there are lots of people who are accusing people of stealing figs in the Tesla company. Excuse me. The boss surrounded himself with sycophants who praised his every decision. Musk. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, perspicacious. That's a fun word to say. Perspicacious. Perspicacious. What does perspicacious mean? It means you have keen understanding and insight. Okay? So you can have a, let me think how to use. Her perspicacious attitude helped her to understand the difficult course. Okay? Or, as this one says, her perspicacious analysis helped the company avoid a costly mistake. Okay? So it means insightful, perceptive, astute. Insightful, perceptive, and astute. Those are words that mean perspicacious. Okay? All of those words are very good words for you to learn. Okay. Oh, that's very insightful, right? So anytime you do this, it's perspicacious. Ah, it's perspicacious. That's very perspicacious. Oh, that's very insightful. That's very perceptive. Oh, that's very astute. Okay? So anytime you're stroking the beard and going like, oh, wow, that's that. Okay? And where does it come from? The etymology comes from the Latin word perspicax, meaning sharp-sighted. Okay? From the letters per, P-E-R, meaning through, and specere, meaning to look. That's also where we get the word spectacles from, okay? Or a spectacle. Okay? Spectacular. They also come from that word. Okay? The detective's perspicacious attitude helped to solve the murder mystery. Yes, good. But, Stephanie, you need to add an apostrophe S for plural. I'm sorry, not plural. Possessive. Possessive detective, right? So it was his attitude, right? So that means you have to have an apostrophe S with the detective. The detective's attitude. Okay? All right. So her insightful analysis, her perceptive analysis, her astute analysis, okay, all of those mean roughly the same thing, okay? It's like, wow, that's pretty smart. She's very clever, witty, insightful, okay? Do you guys want to try to use perspicacious? That one's a little harder. Hello, Julio. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Do you know that song, Julio? There's a song called Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. Great song. Singing Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. I can't sing this morning. It's too early. I can't sing anyway. My mother's perspicacious nature always gets me in trouble? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, sure. Sometimes having too much insight is not always a good thing, right? Sometimes people don't want to hear it, right? Sometimes people don't want to hear it. Okay, let's move on to the next word. I know perspicacious is a hard one to write about, but let's go ahead and do the next one. Here's a good one. I love this word. Obfuscate. To obfuscate. Obfuscate is a verb. It means to make something unclear, to deliberately make something unclear or difficult to understand. Okay? So politicians often obfuscate, right? They often deliberately make things unclear or difficult to understand on purpose, right? Even some professors I have seen, there are certain professors who obfuscate information. Rather than teaching, they have their knowledge has become part of their ego. And so instead of instructing people, they're using their knowledge to condescend. And so what they do is they deliberately make things more difficult than they should be because they want you to feel lower. That's obfuscation and condescension. Condescension, sorry. Okay, and where does obfuscate come from? It comes from the Latin word obfuscare, meaning to darken. Okay, ob means against, and fuscus means dark. Okay, so ob means against, and fuscus means dark. So, what are some simplified synonyms? To confuse, to obscure, or to muddle. to obscure or confuse or muddle things is to obfuscate. Okay, if the professor is confusing you, they're obfuscating. If the politician is obscuring the truth, and look, the word obfuscate also has obscure, ob, and ob, right? That's because they both mean against. Okay, so obfuscate means to make things dark, and obscure, let me check the etymology. Obscure comes from this ob meaning over and scurus meaning covered. Oh, yeah, that's right. So obscure means to cover something, right? Like, hey, don't look at this. So obfuscate means to make things confusing by darkening it. And obscure means to cover it, like, don't look at this, okay? All right, let's see. What do we have here? Sometimes my professors try to write in an obfuscate way in order to show off. Mona, I think you could say sometimes my professors will obfuscate when they write in order to show off. Okay? They will obfuscate when they write. Okay? People tend to obfuscate when they want to hide the truth. Good. Yes. The lawyer's lengthy explanation seemed designed to obfuscate the key facts of the case. Very good, Julio. It's important to use in sentences... if you mean these words, well, yeah, that's why I'm asking you to write sentences, Majid. Okay? So, yeah, try to write a sentence, okay? But, guys, you know, sometimes you guys have the wrong idea about how to practice vocabulary words. You think, I learned a word, and now I need to find a way to use it in my conversation. So you have a difficult time trying to use the words because you're trying to find a random place to use the word ubiquitous. You're trying to find some random place in your conversations to use obfuscate, right, or ephemeral. That won't work. Here's what will work. What you need to do when you learn some vocabulary words, I want you to write down 3 or 4 or 5 topics that could that this word is useful in, right? So, for example, obfuscate. What kind of topics are useful using the word obfuscate to discuss the word obfuscate? Okay, so maybe science, or maybe history, or maybe crime, right? Or politics. So those are topics. So now if you think of the topic of politics and I say, use the word obfuscate to talk about politics, now you know how to do it. Use the word obfuscate to talk about crime. Now you know how to use the word. So when you learn a new vocabulary word, you also need to write down 3 or 4 or 5 places that you can use this word, concepts, places, topics that will allow you to use this word easily so that you're not trying to find a random place to use the word obfuscate in your daily life. Okay? Why do we tend to obfuscate things when we can say them in a simple way? Yeah, but remember you said obfuscate things. So in general, when you say things being plural, it is singular. So you would want to say obfuscate things when we can say them in a simpler way. Okay? Hello, Confucius. Thank you. All right, so... you know what? You can even add that. let's add that to the next group of words. I'm going to give you a prompt and I'm going to show you another list of 10 words, but I'm going to add another sentence to my prompt, my AI prompt. I'm going to add one more sentence where I will say, please give me 3 places or concepts or topics where this word is a useful term. Okay, let's see if that will help. All right. For now, let's just go with what we have. The next word is magnanimous. Magnanimous. That's another very good word. Magnanimous means generous and forgiving, especially towards a rival, like an enemy, a rival, or someone weaker. Okay? So, if you... let's say, you know, the girl you don't like or the guy you don't like on the bus, right? They come on the bus and the only seat that's available is the seat next to you. And you really don't like that person. And normally, most people would just not let them sit down and make them go someplace else. But no, you say, would you like to sit down? That's magnanimous. Okay? To show generosity or forgiveness or... deference to an enemy or a rival or someone weaker than you, then that's a magnanimous attitude. Okay? And it comes from the Latin word magnus, magnus meaning great, and animus meaning soul. So to be magnanimous means to have a great soul. Like, you're not a small person, okay? The opposite of magnanimous would be petty. Petty, petty. Okay? And I can think of a very, very petty person in this world right now, too. I can think of a person who could use some magnanimity to be more magnanimous. Okay? All right, so generous and forgiving. Magnus, animus, meaning great soul, great spirit. They're so magnanimous. You know, that's so magnanimous. Wow, that's magnanimous of you. Okay, despite their heated argument, he was magnanimous enough to apologize first. Okay? Generous, noble, or kind-hearted. These are synonyms. Okay? He's a generous, noble, kind-hearted person. Then you are magnanimous. Okay? She has a magnanimous attitude, sure. Despite the harsh criticism, she remained magnanimous and responded with kindness and understanding. Good. Good. Stephanie, we can all learn to be a little bit more magnanimous, right? To have a great soul, a great spirit. Okay? All right, magnanimous. Magnanimous. Here's another good one. Lugubrious. One moment here. Yeah, lugubrious. Lugubrious is a word that means looking or sounding sad or dismal. Okay? Looking sad and pathetic and dismal, looking gloomy, looking more mournful, sorrowful, melancholy. Okay? Then that's lugubrious. Okay, so the movie's lugubrious tone made it difficult to watch. Maybe it's a movie about, you know, your pet dog who died after many years. That's sad, right? It's sorrowful, it's mournful, it's gloomy, right? It's dark, right? So it comes from the Latin word lugere, which means to mourn. Mourn means to be sad about something like someone dying. Okay? Let's see. Can we say you have a magnanimous heart? Yes, you can, Mona. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah. The funeral had a lugubrious air to it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, of course. Every funeral. Well, you know, you would hope that when you die, people will be sad. There are a few people in this world that when they die, there are some people who are kind of happy about it. But in general, you should be sad at a funeral. You're right. You're right. But occasionally, someone dies and you go like, all right. I know that's rude, but it's true, right? There are certain people in this world who don't seem to value life as much as they should, and so, yeah, it's not such a bad thing when they're gone. After hearing the bad news, he walked home in a lugubrious mood, his head hanging low. Well done, Julio. Very good. That was good. Yeah. All right, so lugubrious. Yeah. If you want to use a word, I would guess that about 95% of American native speakers of English don't know this word. Maybe not 95, but 90? You know, like a lot of people don't know the word lugubrious. Okay? So it's a good word. If you're ever talking to a native speaker who is kind of arrogant and you want to put them in their place, some of these words are good. You could drop one of these words, you can say one of these words and watch them go, huh? What? Yeah, it's a good one. Here's another good one. Prevaricate. Prevaricate. Prevaricate means to avoid telling the truth or to speak in evasive ways. Okay? Prevaricate comes from the Latin word prevaricare, which means to walk crookedly. Okay? To straddle or walk crookedly. So it's kind of like to evade. Yeah, that's like this, right? Somebody's trying to look at you, right? Somebody's trying to look at you and you do this. You do this, you hide behind the tree, you hide behind the building. That's prevarication, okay? You're trying, that's what the original meaning was. It was walking crookedly, which means you're trying not to be seen, right? Like you're walking behind someone or you're trying not to be seen, right? So you're trying to avoid telling the truth or you're speaking in evasive ways, okay? You're evading, you're misleading, you're equivocating. Equivocating is saying, well, that guy there, you think he killed him? Maybe he killed him, but that guy over there maybe he also killed him. You know, they were both there. This guy has blood on his shirt, but this guy was also here, and he looks guilty. So that's equivocation. It's where you're giving two possible answers that you know one of them is the truth, but you're trying to make it look like they're both equally possible. That's equivocation. Okay? So, the witness prevaricated when asked direct questions about the crime. The witness prevaricated when asked direct questions about the crime. All right? He lied. He lied. He evaded. Okay? To prevaricate, the slang term in English would be BS. That's the slang term for prevaricate. He's a good BSer. Means he prevaricates, right? He speaks, he knows how to evade the truth. Okay? The politician was known to prevaricate when asked direct questions, avoiding the truth with vague answers. Good. The defendant tried to prevaricate his way out of trouble in court. Yeah, that's good too, Stephanie. Very good. Well done. Yeah, good. Prevaricate. And again, that's another one that at least 90% of people don't know that word. You know, these are good words because the majority of people don't use a level of vocabulary this high. Okay. Now, there's power in that. I want you to understand that there are times when I will use the word BS, right? And there are times when I will use the word prevaricate. It depends on... Words have strategy, everybody. So when I'm in a room and I'm trying to speak with someone, I have to figure out what are the strategically most effective words to use in that situation, right? With some people, you want to connect with them. So if you want to connect with them, then you should use words that are on their level. But with some people, you want to make them feel as though they are, you want to put them on the back foot. It's an idiom in English, to put someone on the back foot. It means to catch them off guard. It means to make them feel like, ooh, what was that, right? These words can be like that, okay? These words can have power, where if you use a word that is a big word, and some people might know it, in a way, it's like asserting your dominance. Okay? So, words have power. And if you know which word to choose for which situation, right? But on the other hand, if you choose the word prevaricate, if you're in a situation where you want to connect with people, but you use these kinds of words, they might have the opposite reaction. They might think, oh, wait a minute, I don't know that word. This guy's he's too smart. I don't like that. I don't trust that, right? So words have power. You have to choose the right words for the right situation, okay? You could say he's lying, or you can say, that's a very interesting way to prevaricate, okay? Your skills at prevarication are unmatched. So if you want to call someone a liar, here, I'm going to give you this sentence. Whoops, I'm sorry. That should be AT, not AT. So your skills at prevarication are unmatched. That is a very fancy way to say, you're really good at lying. You're a really good liar. Okay? So if you want to call somebody a liar without them knowing you're calling them a liar, tell them, wow, I'm impressed. Your skills at prevarication are unmatched. Okay? You can't solve the problem with a prevaricating attitude. The criminal is prevaricating with the police. The second one, Jenny, yes, the criminal is prevaricating with the police. Let's see. The first one, you can't solve the problem with a prevaricating attitude. Maybe. I feel like that's a little bit awkward. People don't usually try to solve problems with a lying attitude, so I feel like that's a strange way to use it. But the second one is good. Stephanie, that's exactly why I wrote that sentence that way, because it sounds like a compliment. When you say that your skill at something is unmatched, it sounds like it must be a compliment. Okay? But when you say your skills at prevarication are unmatched, somebody's going to say, wow, thank you. And then they're going to look it up. If you say that to someone, won't they be offended? If they figure it out, yes, they will be offended. So I'm telling you, Sonia, this is I'm making a joke. Okay, Sonia, I don't want you to go out and really do this, but I'm telling you that if you meet somebody who is using English and they are lying and evading and misleading, but you can tell that their level of English is not very good or not as high as these words, then you can use these words and they won't know. They will think that you're complimenting them. It sounds like a compliment, right? Sometimes I tell people, I'm really impressed because wisdom has been chasing you your entire life, but you have always been faster. Wisdom has been chasing you your entire life, man, but man, you are fast. That's also a fun way to call someone stupid without knowing it. They're going to say, wow, you think I'm fast? Thank you. Okay. These are C2 words. Most of these are C2, C1, C2. Yeah, it's sarcastic. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Could I write what down? You mean the other? Sure, I'll write it down. Let's see. There you go. I'm really impressed. Wisdom has been chasing you your entire life, but you've always been faster. You're welcome. That's a very that's a slick way to call someone stupid. If beauty was a crime, you'd be innocent. Yeah. UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. You ugly. Did you guys ever hear that one? When I was a kid, that's what we used to do. We would say, UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. It was a song we would sing. Kids are so funny. All right, let's go to the next word. Enervate. To enervate. It means to weaken or drain the energy. Okay? To weaken or drain the energy. To take the energy out. Okay? So this one's actually not too hard to understand. It comes from the Latin word enervare, which means to weaken. So the en part actually comes from this word meaning out of. And then nerve, this part here, comes from nervous, which means strength. So enervate means out of strength. Okay? You have no more strength. You're exhausted. You're fatigued. You're weakened. Right? The intense heat enervated the hikers, forcing them to rest. The intense heat enervated the hikers, forcing them to rest. Thank you, Afaf. I'm glad that you like the resources on my website. Yeah. Please tell more people about it. And since you're mentioning my website, I'll go ahead and put it right here. There is my website. If you want to know about the resources he's talking about, then go there. Okay. Let's go back to the list here. Sorry, I got to... where is it here? There it is. Enervate. Okay, so the intense heat enervated the hikers, forcing them to rest, right? To weaken. Yes, it is ChatGPT. Well, I'm not, but it is. I am using ChatGPT. Of course I am. What's the problem with that? Nowadays, children can innervate the lives of their parents. Yeah, I think that's pretty much true for all time. I don't think there has ever been a time where children did not innervate the lives of their parents. That's always been true throughout history. You know, I'm sure that, 10,000 years ago, there were some parents that were going like, about their kids. My parents, I'm sure, do it about me all the time. All right, innervate. Okay, and the next one here. Oh, I love this word. Quixotic. Quixotic comes from the word, from the book Don Quixote. Okay? So this is a funny word because in the etymology, it's Spanish where it's pronounced Don Quixote, right? But the word in English is pronounced quixotic. Quixotic. And what does quixotic mean? It means unrealistically optimistic or impractically idealistic. Yeah. Maybe I'm a little quixotic. I think it's fair to say that some people have described me occasionally as quixotic because I do have grand ideas about the way the world should be. I don't consider them to be unrealistic, though. Realism is relative. That's a funny thing to say, but it's true. It's a paradox, and yet it's true. Realism is relative. That's true. This current generation is kind of... Yeah, you're right about that, Stephanie. There's a South Park episode, Stephanie, that I love to watch because it's talking about the kids from these days, and they're playing paintball with the guns, right? Paintball guns, and they're all like teenagers, like 15 years old, and they're all very moody and pissy, and they don't want to do anything ever. And they call everything lame, and all they do every time that you talk to them, they look at you and they just say, bruh, oh no, bruh. And it's like, stop. It's funny how in youth, we use language to try to look cooler. But the truth is that almost everybody who's ever tried to look cool by using language when they're young, it's not cool, man. You look silly and stupid. Yeah, bruh. All right, quixotic. So, unrealistically optimistic, his plans to save the world, his quixotic plans to save the world were admirable, but unrealistic. Okay? Quixotic. Unrealistic, impractical, dreamy, right? But the world needs a few more dreamers. The world does need a few more dreamers. To be honest with you, dreamers are who are going to save the world, because the people who are doing the realism, they're the ones who are actually breaking the world right now. It's all the people who talk about making money and business. That's the reality. But the reality is what's killing us all. So maybe we need a few dreamers who say business is not the end of the only thing that's important in the world. Profit is not the only thing that's important in the world. Money is not the only thing that's important in this world. Dreamers are that's that group of people. That group of people who thinks like that, those are dreamers. We need more of those, All right. So once again, I used ChatGPT for this. I don't see why that's a problem. I'm using it on purpose. I'm trying to show you how to use it. Okay? I use ChatGPT every day. I'm trying to show you how to use it to learn vocabulary. All right? So let's go to the next one here, right? And the final thoughts, learn the words through etymology. That's why I talk about the etymology a lot. It helps to remember the words. It helps to find patterns in the words. Okay? And look, what did it even ask me here? Would you like a quiz or a practice worksheet? ChatGPT will make a quiz for you about these words. ChatGPT will make a worksheet for you about these words. Ask it to. It will make a PDF. You can print it out and do it. Free homework. Okay? All right, so now I did, again, give me 10 more useful advanced English vocabulary words, which are IELTS, TOEFL, GRE level, C1, C2, and include both the etymology and simplified synonyms for each word. Let me edit this just one bit here. Also include 3 to 5 topics, concepts, or areas in which these words are useful. In which these words would be useful to know. Okay, so I added one more thing. I want 3 to 5 topics or concepts or areas where these words can be used, right? For each. So this is a prompt. This is a prompt, and it's important to have a good prompt if you want a good answer. All right, so now let's see what it does. 10 more advanced English vocabulary words. C1, C2, IELTS, TOEFL, GRE level with etymology, synonyms, and usage contexts. How about that? Ooh, obstreperous. Obstreperous means noisy and difficult to control. It's obstreperous. It's unruly. It's boisterous. They're defiant. This class is obstreperous. Means they're unruly. They're boisterous. They're defiant. They're little, you know? So what does it mean? Latin, in the Latin term, the etymology, obstreperous comes from the Latin ob, meaning against, and strepere, meaning to make noise, okay? So to make noise against something, that's what it means, okay? And where is this useful? Where do we use this term? In behavioral psychology, okay? So to describe disruptive individuals in psychology, that's obstreperous. Okay, those are obstreperous patients, maybe. Okay, politics and debates. If you're in a debate or you're in politics, using the word obstreperous would be good. Okay, referring to unruly discussions. Okay, this is an obstreperous debate. Okay, or in parenting and education, dealing with difficult children. That's what I said. This classroom is obstreperous. I cannot take it anymore. Okay, the teacher struggled to calm the obstreperous students during the assembly. All right, so isn't that useful? Now that I added that extra part where it says, where can I use these words? Where can I use these words? Oh, now I know. Let's take a look at one more. Recalcitrant. Recalcitrant. Oh, hello, Mona and Miguel and Flavia over there on YouTube. I always forget. I'm so bad. So terrible. One day, maybe in 10 years, I'll be good at balancing more than one live stream at the same time. But anyway, recalcitrant, guys. Recalcitrant means stubbornly resistant to authority or control. Okay, if you have a brother or a sister, or they're always getting in trouble, and no matter what you do, they're always getting in trouble, then they are recalcitrant. Okay? Defiant, uncooperative, rebellious. Okay? The Latin is means back or again, right? And calcitrare means to kick back or to resist, right? So what does recalcitrant mean? It means that when you try to say, hey, come here, they go, no. They kick back. That's what it means. They're fighting you, okay? Where is it useful? It's useful in law and order to describe those who resist authority. The recalcitrant prisoner, the recalcitrant defendant, the recalcitrant, what's another word? Criminal. Okay? Corporate and management, when you're handling difficult employees. This employee is recalcitrant. I have asked him not to smoke in the building many times, and he continues to do so. His recalcitrant behavior will not be tolerated. He's fired. Okay? Or in education, students who resist rules or guidance, right? So if I have a student that I have to send him to the principal every day, he's recalcitrant. Lei, no, these are not common words. What does it say, Lei? Right here. These are advanced English vocabulary words. They are C1, C2 level, IELTS, TOEFL, GRE level. These are not common words at all. No, that's why today is called advanced vocabulary. Okay? 都是这是非常困难的 ，OK， 非常困难的，不普通的 not common, okay? So that's all I want to do for today. But I just wanted to show you guys once again. Look, here's the prompt I gave. You can copy it and paste it, okay, right here. So give me 10 useful advanced English vocabulary words, which are TOEFL, IELTS, GRE level, C1, C2, and include both the etymology and simplified synonyms for each word. Also include 3 to 5 topics, concepts, or areas for each vocabulary word in which these words would be useful to know. Okay? Okay, I could probably have said context, but same thing. Chabador. Okay? All right, so now do we see how ChatGPT can be very useful for vocabulary? Do you understand how to use ChatGPT to help you with vocabulary now? I hope. Okay. So, before I forget, make sure you go to my website, sign up, follow, subscribe. Okay, you can check out my YouTube channel. All right, go to those things. Hello, Zoe. Thank you for the gift. Kalsum, did you just get here? Kalsum, did you just get here? Yes. Okay. You're late. I'm not going to guide you. I'm sorry. I already did it. But if you go to my YouTube channel right here, go to my YouTube channel. Okay. I'm finished. And as soon as I finish, this will be loaded on my YouTube channel. You can go watch it. Okay. As soon as I'm finished, you can go watch this on YouTube. Okay. And, so LeBron, it doesn't matter. You can use DeepSeek. Okay? The same thing works on DeepSeek. It doesn't matter. DeepSeek 跟 ChatGPT 其实差不多都可以啊 Nobody cares. 随便 Okay, LeBron? Okay? If you want to use DeepSeek, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It'll do the same thing. Okay? 差不多 All right? The YouTube channel name is right here. Okay? Yeah, LeBron, in this world, the truth is, guys, if you argue about which AI is better, it's kind of like arguing about which planet is better. They're all planets. They're all planets. They're all big. They're all amazing. They all have the same general purpose, right? It's like kind of like arguing about which music is better. Is rock music better or is jazz music better? they're both good. Use them both. Okay? So, yeah, I use DeepSeek. I use ChatGPT. I also use one called Manus. Manus is the Spanish language one that just came out not long ago. Okay? I have about 15 different AI apps on my phone. I use them all. Okay? Don't limit yourself in which AI you use. This is not a competition to choose the best one. You should use all of them. It's a silly argument, you know. If there's a hammer, over here is a hammer, and over here is a saw. But you're talking about how the hammer is so great. Well, the saw is great too. You know? Yeah. Kalsum, what do you mean you didn't find it? It's right there. I just put it in the chat. YouTube, afiecenglish.com. You have to copy it and paste it. You cannot just click it. You must copy and paste and then go to the web browser. Okay? And Bruce, you want to know how to use a computer to stream. So, Bruce, here's what you do. Set up your live stream on HelloTalk on your phone. Schedule it on your phone. Then copy the link and send it to WeChat or WhatsApp or Telegram on your computer. Open that link from your Telegram or WeChat on your computer, and it will open that in your Chrome browser. Use Chrome, open it in Chrome, and then you can scan the QR code in HelloTalk. If you open the QR code, scan the QR code that's on your screen, and it will open the live stream for you on your computer. Okay, Bruce? Kalsum. I don't know what to tell you. Can anybody else use that link and find it? Because look, watch. You found it and subscribed? See? Okay, it's there. Okay? See? It's there. Don't be so quick to give up, Kalsum. Okay? Yes, you open it in the browser. Now, you can make a live stream on your computer, but you cannot watch them on your computer. If you want to watch them, you can only do that on your phone. Okay? If you want to make one, there is a trick to put it on your computer. Okay? And yes, you can find it on my page here too. Thank you, Bruce. Yeah. You can find it right here. Go to my link tree. My link tree has my YouTube, it has my website, it has my podcast. It's all right there. Okay? Don't give up so easily. If you want to find something, you'll find it. Okay? Okay, guys. I have to go, but thank you guys for watching and listening. I'll be back tonight for another live stream. No, sorry, voice stream tonight. Voice stream. I have 80,000 followers on HelloTalk. If you didn't follow, click follow. Okay? I have 80,000 followers here. I do 10 live streams, or 10 voice streams and 10 live streams a week. Sorry. I do 5 live streams and 5 voice streams a week, 10 total. God, I'm tired. I can't go. 我需要去。今天我有很多，我需要做很多的东西，需要去。我 ，OK， 你回来 ，OK， 你需要回来，明天了 ，OK。So, Kalsum, go to my website and you'll find my schedule. Go to my website and you'll find my schedule. Follow me and you'll get notifications. Okay? That's what I'll tell you. All right. I have to go. I'll see you guys next time. Okay? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for following. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. Wherever you live. You came here to learn English, but I'm speaking Chinese. 我是英文老师，可是我会说中文，所以有时候我说中文。因为我有很多中国人，他们看我。OK， 他们看我，所以有时候我说中文。可是我是英文老师，如果你要学英文，我可以教你。Okay? I can teach you if you want to know English. That's what I'm doing. But I just happen to speak Chinese. All right? All right, I have to go. I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye-bye.